forgot to follow through on a promise that I would show you a little bit about the beauty of the campus. But first, I wanted to go through this sculpture. It's called Integration, but what I did not understand until I walked all the way around it is that it comes in three parts. So, this one, let me turn my camera around. All right, this lady here, she is Ruby, sorry, she's Dobie Lee Flowers, born 1967. I'm sorry, I'm messing up here. I'm trying to read and hold the camera and do all the things. Anyway, she's the first African American homecoming princess, crowned in 1970 at Florida State. And the artwork is a celebration of hardships and successes of a group of young men and women with a vision. That vision was to make Florida State University a center of learning for all people, a great university with cultural diversity as part of its mission. The sculpture honors those courageous African American students who paved the way to integration at FSU during the 1960s. The three figures are historically accurate representations of the first African American graduating scholar from the class of 1965. The first African American to wear an FSU athletic uniform, and the first African American homecoming princess. So here again is Dobie Lee Flowers. D-O-B-Y is the way you spell her first name. She was a student here. She did her Bachelor of Science degree 1967 to 1971, and she did her Master's of Science degree and graduated in 1973. So I'm going to go on around to this baseball player that you see here. He is Fred H. Flowers. I don't know if you can see him as clearly because the sun is shining right into my face and yours, but he is Fred H. Flowers. He was a student here from 1965 to 1969 when he did his bachelor's, and then from 1973 he earned his Master of Science. He's the first African American to wear an FSU athletic uniform. So clearly he played baseball. So finally, number 3, or the third element of this installation. This is Maxwell Courtney. He was a student here from 1962 to 1965, and he did his bachelor's here. He's the first African American undergraduate student admitted to Florida State University. So this whole installation, I'm going to bring this camera down a bit. It says here that this installation was made April 19th, 2012 to celebrate 50 years of integration and diversity, a human chain of hundreds passed hand to hand, a bronze disc from this statue of Maxwell Courtney to a commemorative pyramid on Westcott Plaza. So this is Westcott Plaza. It is called a commemorative pyramid, not an installation. You see why I say you have to read and learn, and there are roses all the way around. I'm sure it shines. Oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And if you know anything about Florida State University, their mascot is the Seminole. So I would presume and assume that that is the reason for the headdress on the homecoming queen. Wow. So let's just take another glance around. That's the entrance you see there. There is an Asian American Student Union here, according to that sign. There's a Women's Student Union, Veteran Student Union, and a Pride Student Union. How cool is that? So this is when you're leaving the plaza, and I see some of the familiar Greek symbols here. I had mentioned earlier the beauty of this campus and how there's a beautiful bricked paved way. I'm sure that this is, see, I went to Hampton. I'm sure they would call this the block at Hampton. National Panhellenic Council, Alpha Phi Alpha, AKA Kappa Alpha Psi, Delta Sigma Theta, Omega Psi Phi, Phi Beta Sigma. Wow, how beautiful. And I'm sorry for you fraternity and sorority organization members if I did not put your incorporated and all of those things. I'm not a member, so charge it to the head and not the heart. So I think we better get on out of here, people. And I hope you enjoyed a little brief look at Florida State University. There's my favorite tree, magnolia. Talk about a beautiful smell when it blooms. I'll walk a little bit here on the pathway. They have commemorative benches with plaques on them. And I'm going to guess that this is really the nerve center of campus. And what's this bench? Wow, there's a marble plaque on this one. You know, you see something so beautiful and you feel like you really shouldn't sit on it. Oh, wow. The Iota Delta chapter of A Phi A. Alpha Phi Alpha. So let's see here. The Mystic Dozen, 1970s, 1980s, 1990s, and the 2000s. Wow. All right. Come through. Oh, and they also have another bench over here. Okay, A Phi A, y'all trying to run the campus or what? 1906. All right. With the scroll for the armrest. Wow. All right. Well, with that, gang, I think I'm going to bid thee farewell. And as I always say,